everyone, and welcome back to D&D&D&D&D campaign number 2 of Black Ink and Blue Blood.
Whoa.
When we last left off, the party reconvened after a time of getting situated with the new state of affairs. Celebrating Dmitry Dragonov's birthday, Caleb assembled a council of the ruling powers of Tebadra to assist himself as the currently historically youngest leader in Yav's history in running their kingdom of thieves as they prepare to wage war against the Scar Concord, making their way north against the kingdom of Barbarous.
I'm gonna be right back. I have to
Good.
put her up.
Good. The coronation was witnessed and participated in by the Khatun Minlus, Benigumo, the queen of northern banditry to Caleb's king of southern banditry, who offered her potential alliance to the party, at the very least her neutrality in the war. If the party can prove themselves against Barbarous, she is willing to offer the use of her transportation circles that she set up during the War of Gilded Roses, initially used to help Gyogre, Wicket, and the members of the Eastern Alliance get from place to place. She is willing to offer that same service to the party, in so long as they prove that they are actually capable of beating the Concord. If they do so, she promises to stay neutral, but if they fail, she's made it clear that she will do whatever keeps her people safe, even if that means fighting against you. In preparation for war, Caleb has ordered the military leaders of Tebadra to find a new general to replace the one that you guys killed. And rumors have reached you that Agesian dwarves have been seen skulking in the abandoned territory of Tebadra farms. Motivations unknown, but they have been seen carrying some sort of cargo. As you all ready to resume your journey, it is getting towards late afternoon now. It is snowing, and it will keep snowing through the night. As Caleb's meeting parts and they all set about going about the errands Caleb assigned them, does anyone have anything they'd like to do before turning in for the night?
Didn't we get a letter?
Yeah, I did.
Where didn't we stop at her reading the letter, right?
We did.
It wasn't a letter. She sent a message
Yeah,
where
she got a
found
message.
out Sun Dragon was pissed that what's her face came to us.
Yes.
Yeah, so I was gonna, if nobody else had anything, I was gonna continue that.
Yeah. As long as you have the spell slots for it. Does anyone else have anything?
No, I don't.
Okay. So yes, when we left off, Queen Sun Dragon was making it quite clear that she does not approve of the party even associating with the Khanun, let alone considering her a potential ally. She has not said why, but yeah, Lucian, you've already deduced there's some kind of history there. But all she said is that her lack of her disappointment, if not surprise, that she has once again proven herself unable to be present when it matters.
Yeah. Lucian is feeling quite the same, actually. So I'm going to say to her, I have 25 words. I'm keeping track of my spells, but this is at night, so say to her, I know it's hard, and I'm sorry if I upset you. She gave me an offer that I think will help hopefully I'll see you soon.
I'm gonna be right back to get dinner.
And that's what I said.
As you send out your next cast of sending,
I'll knock that out.
you are waiting for a long moment before finally her response comes to you. Whatever. And that's the only response you get.
Yeah, oof. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna look for what's-his.
Okay. What are you doing at the moment?
Oh, what time is it at this point?
It's getting, I'd say it's about 10 o'clock.
Oh, he's in his room, probably getting ready for bed.
Yeah, so you'll hear her like pounding on your door.
I wonder what that is.
Knock, 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 Gil! Knock, 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 Gil!
Who's Gil?
Fuck you!
Okay. And he'll open the door.
I'm gonna let myself in and sit down.
It's not letting yourself in if he opens the door for you.
No, I think he's saying you won't
Yeah,
invite
you didn't
her.
exactly invite her in, but
You just see her.
she is deciding to do so. Lucian, you charge into what's-his room in the Bear's Lodge and plop yourself down.
And I'm just gonna go into, so you know how we talked to the queen. So it turns out that there might be something between her and Sundragon, and now I think I kind of fucked up, and she's mad at me, and I'm kind of freaking out right now. I don't know what to do.
Well, in all fairness, I don't think she's probably mad at you. She's probably mad at the queen. And you're just, in the line of fire.
I want to leave right now.
Well, that's not practical right now for us to just,
Not
up and leave.
I'm tired of being practical.
Well, not being practical is how you get your girlfriend killed because we're not prepared.
He needs me.
She needs us to come with reinforcements.
Isn't that what we're doing?
Yes, but we got to finish getting them ready.
What is there to do? You just send them off with their little guns and their little swords and they go off. What is there more to do?
He's actually going to face palm at this. You have no idea.
No, I don't. And I don't like not knowing.
Just breathe.
Tell me to breathe.
We're going to go soon.
I want to leave now.
And what do you think we're going to be able to do if we leave right now?
I'm not saying we. I'm saying me.
Oh, great. So
there,
it's a suicide mission.
I could go there and then I could come back magically.
Uh-huh. And how are you going to, if by the time you get there, you might as well stay there because it's like, what's the point coming back? We'll be on our way. It's going to take you 2 days at least to get there.
So I'm just supposed to sit here and let her be upset without me being there to help her through it? I don't think so.
Right now, you're not thinking very logically. You can't do anything for her right now unless she wants you to. All we can do right now is gather troops and head that way. But right now, she needs to have time to even think because this person is just showing up all of a sudden, and now she's been blindsided with that information. So just give her a chance to think and figure out what it even means.
Kind of rubs at her head and heaves the biggest dramatic sigh ever. I just don't like that every time shit like this happens, we're not near each other, and it's sucks.
Yes, as long distance relationships, they suck.
Don't patronize me.
I've already been there.
With who?
Remember I was engaged?
I
You know, like part of the reason I left wasn't just because, the whole, oh, I don't want to marry her. I never met her. I think I met her, what, once, twice? Because it was long distance.
Are we really? No, that's not long distance, honey. That's called an arranged marriage, which is quite.
Either way, he is not very good at this. But he's gotten her mind off of it, kind of. Because now she's trying to explain things to him.
I want to leave, and I just don't like things leaving things like this. But I get the feeling she doesn't want to hear from me right now.
I doubt that it's that. I think she's just mad at the other person.
She said something about why are they showing up now, and something about haven't been there since they were little.
Yeah, so she's got a lot to deal with based on all of that. So just let her figure out how she feels and go from there.
I hate this.
Yeah. But if you push it too much, it might not end as well. You gotta give her some space to figure out her own feelings.
She'll just get up and leave without any words or any explanation. Just go to her room for her next set of sendings.
Oh my goodness. Behave yourself.
Don't tell me what to do. I'm a grown ass woman.
I'm still your elder.
You just hear the door
You
slam.
know,
All right. Once as you're left in your room, Lucy, and you shut yourself away in yours.
I have more things to do.
Now, what would you like to do?
I'm going to regret this.
oh my goodness. More sending spells.
She just,
I'm
yeah,
going
she said that.
Yeah, I'm going to regret this. I'm going to message Lucifer. I'm going. I know.
Okay.
Not that big of a deal.
Alright, I'm back. What'd I miss?
Lucian's upset about relationship drama, and she's about to message Lucifer.
Oh, hell.
Yeah.
Lucian, as you cast Sending, what do you say?
It has come to my attention that I need to tell you what I'm able to do now. And I really think you want. Fuck. I was gonna say to no, but I ran out of words. I'm out
How
of.
many more spells do you have?
I have more spells, but I don't want to like burn a whole spell just to do 2 words. Hopefully that cliffhanger will grab his attention.
Indeed, you do get a response. Although, the response comes somewhat unusually. For starters, it comes faster and he sounds more energetic than he has the previous times you've messaged him.
Oh, that's not good.
Secondly, much to your chagrin, the first thing you hear is him cackling. How many times have you cast that spell and you still lose track of the word count?
Cute.
Well, you can tell me all about what you can do soon.
Oh,
Ooh, I don't like that either.
okay, I'll casting again. Are you going to the winter ball that's coming up? Because I was going to suggest that we meet.
You know, it's funny. I had the same idea.
I don't like this.
I'm nearby if you want to meet up.
Oh.
Take care of in the Sprintwood. Work favors.
Oh.
Love you.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
I literally have like the biggest deer in the headlight look right now.
Isn't the Springwood the woods around Tabedra?
Yeah, it's
Yep.
nearby. It's nearby. I am
Oh.
going to take my stuff and leave for the wood.
I swear to God, if Lucien does not say anything to anyone about this,
Well,
Why?
I was gonna say, after Lucian had left, he was like, she'd totally do something stupid and try to leave on her own. She already said it. So
That is fair, she
he would decide that he's gonna sleep outside of her bedroom. So probably right as he's getting there, she's heading out the door and it's like, oh, where do you think you're going?
Are you my dad? Jeez. I'm leaving. I'm getting some air. Leave me alone. And I'm just gonna go.
Do I believe her?
I mean, it's up to you.
Lucian, roll deception. What's his roll insight?
no, so it's an insight challenge.
Technically, it's not lying.
It's 100% lying, Luce.
I was like, technicality, it's like
Uh,
you are not going out.
It's
right
every time you say loose, I think of lose, like from Owl House.
That's
Yeah.
kind of intentional on my
Yeah.
part.
Yeah. I got a dirty 20.
Alright, what's this?
Rip, what's
Dead
his?
air. Dead air.
We'll give him a moment.
18.
Alright. What's his? You study Lucian's expression.
She looks more annoyed than anything.
She doesn't seem like she's lying.
I just need to get some air. This whole relationship drama is just. I don't know if I'm cut out for it. I need to think. Okay? Just leave me alone. I'm going to the spring if you need me.
For how long?
She kind of like.
Just so we so we don't have to worry if you don't come back within a certain amount of time. Like when do we send out the search parties to make sure you're not dead or something?
She shrugs. I don't know. I mean, I'll just take however long I need.
Officially cannot say shit about the party communicating anymore.
Nope. No, she cannot.
Well, she knows what they'll say when she says that she's gonna go meet with him. So no.
She's not just going to go meet with him. She's going to go probably either get captured or
Tell him a
worse.
bunch of shit that we're doing.
Well, he's already
We
in
had
it.
that conversation, so
Let's just play out first.
Well, none of us know where she's. Well, we know where she's gone. We don't know what she's doing though. So it's like
All right.
total party.
Let's just let it roll.
You guys let Zephyr do what Zephyr does. Just let me do what I want to do.
All right. She seems like she's being earnest. She just needs to get some cold air to clear her head. It's snowing, so it'll be good for that.
Yeah. Okay. He'll go back into his room and go to bed.
Let's just let it go. She's made her decision.
On the way out, I'm gonna get a drink to go, some kind of alcoholic beverage.
Something strong.
Something real strong.
Ever the alcoholic, I see.
Oh, you're the one to talk.
Mies allows you to take some vodka with you as you make your way out into the snowy streets of Rosewick and make your way out. Now, the Sprintwood literally just means the forest around the Tebadra territory, basically. So where exactly are you going?
You know what? I'm gonna start at the house that Dr. Knight used, and then just kind of wander around aimlessly until I get tired.
Okay. Roll investigation.
Okay. Let's do this.
Turns out he's just been following her the entire time.
Yeah, probably.
Or imagine if he was just fucking with her. He actually is not even. He was just taking a guess at where she was and just said a random place.
You know what would be funny is Matthew could be telling the complete truth one of these times, and we will have no way of knowing.
Oh no, I take full advantage of that frequently.
27.
All right. And I will say, just for my benefit, Luce, are you gonna go back once you get tired, or are you just gonna keep going and going and going until?
I'll sleep in the house. Dr. Knight's house.
Okay. Lucian, using the hut that Dr. Knight had used as a temporary base and the area that had served as a meeting ground between you and the Minloose Khan, you prowl the snowy Sprintwood in search of your brother. You look for footprints. You look for undead that aren't yours.
Yeah, mine are just kind of chilling out.
You search everywhere. But as it gets deep into night and you know you need to turn back if you intend to sleep, there's no sign of him.
All right. Once I get to the house and I'm all snuggled in, I'll just before I turn in, I'll just say to him, you totally are fucking with me. If you don't want to talk, that's fine. And that's where I'll leave it.
She forgets that the Sprintwoods are a lot bigger than just what's around her.
And indeed, Lucian, as that was a sending spell you used, yes?
Yes.
Just clarifying. You do get a response, and you can almost hear the roll of the eyes when Lucifer talks. Jeez, give me a minute. I said I'm busy with work first. Trust me, you'll hear me when I get there.
Oh boy. I'll just mutter stuff that's not entirely comforting in itself and just summon Mishka for snuggles.
Oh boy.
Lucian, as you summon your cat, you hug them for warmth against the snowy outside. Is
there a fireplace here? Can I
No, it's just like an old hunter's hut.
All right, I'll make a campfire outside.
All right. For fun, roll survival.
Yeah,
That one.
I don't think Lucian's ever done this before.
Yeah, that's why I was like, let's go
Fun.
ahead and have you roll survival first.
Not one. Not one.
I really hope I get a nat one. That would be hilarious.
Tries to make a fire out of
close,
icicles.
close. I got a natural 4, so 4 plus 3.
Now, I'm also
7.
thinking, isn't it fire a trigger?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Speaking of, Lucian, determined to do what you need to do alone, you forego the shelter the Tebadrians are offering you and the companionship of your friends. Stubbornly clinging to your cat, you gather up a few tree branches, pile them up in the snow, and attempt to prestidigify a flame. The branches only burn for a precious 8 seconds.
Motherfucker.
And that's all the time you need to launch into a triggered panic attack.
Oh,
Yep. I'm just gonna.
I like how Lucian forgot about their own trigger.
I never said I forgot it.
You're
she'll
just in a mood where she's triggering herself intentionally at this point.
I'm just gonna curl up on the floor with my cat and just mope.
All right. The night passes. Everyone sans Lucian gets a long rest. Lucian, you take a point of exhaustion.
Yeah, I'll take a nap. I'll take a 4-hour nap.
But bear in mind, you are out in the snow without a fire, having just had a panic attack after wandering in the forest alone for hours.
Fair. Still sit crisscross. Let's see. What spell could I use to make my own fire? Too bad I don't have fireball.
You know, set the fucking forest on fire. I want him now!
I mean, isn't there literally a campfire spell?
There is, but I don't have it prepared right now. I'm looking through my stuff. I don't think I have anything fire related because of the thing. It's
Yeah.
not a flame though. It's a flame like radiance descends on a creature.
Yeah, that doesn't count. I've checked.
Rats. Wait, thaumaturgy. Can't I use thaumaturgy?
I don't think that can create fire out of nothing. I think you still need like a basis for it to light with.
That it was that 8-second spark.
I actually no. You can just make flames that already exist brighter.
Yeah, so she just used that 8-second flame and then
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make another flame.
thaumaturgied it.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to make another flame.
Roll
Just add
survival at
gas to it.
disadvantage.
Okay. First roll is an 8. Okay. Next roll is it's a 15. So 8 plus 3.
11.
11.
And you know what's even more funny about all this?
What's that?
She forgets she's got a ring of warmth.
Mm-hmm.
She's too upset to think straight right now.
Well, we already know she's not straight, though.
I mean, yeah.
Lucian, you gather more branches, pile them frantically, prestidigify a flame, and use thaumaturgy to force them to brighten. This is good. You've got a flame, you've got warmth. Now all you need to do is not sleep the entire night so you can keep casting this cantrip so the flame doesn't go out.
I'll extend my hands and just try not to grab the flame, and then look at my hand and be like, oh, I'm a fucking idiot, and turn on my ring of warmth.
Now we'll see if it'll work if Agnes is actually wearing the other one.
If she's wearing it or if she's mad. I'll try to twist it and turn it on, see what happens.
The ring of warmth still carries, well, warmth.
Oh, thank God. She just like cradles it and just like, oh, thank you, Aggie.
Told you she wasn't mad at Lucian.
Lucian's more of the she has to discover things for herself kind of person.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but she's gonna ask for information and advice. He take the accept it.
He's like, yeah, I could do that, or I could figure it out by myself, as I've done the last 170 years.
I'm also thinking, man, if that was that easy, therapists would be out of a job.
Yeah.
Yes, but we're in a setting of fiction.
Yeah,
Like,
but
Therapists don't exist.
yeah,
I mean, I've heard some therapists say that sometimes the hardest part is making people realize the obvious.
Yeah. Anyways. As morning comes, Lucian, you spend while the night is not cold, it is still wet and uncomfortable.
a blanket. I'll tortilla myself away from the snow, and
you're
I'll.
in an old tiny hut that has holes in the wall.
Like Lucian, I'm just gonna be blunt with you. There is no way to make this comfortable without you having some kind of knowledge of how to actually survive out here. You have no idea how to take care of yourself in the wild. You have lived as a scholar for 100 years, and
Scholar and a little spoiled princess, daddy's girl.
And during the time you have been traveling, you've had friends to do this shit for you.
She's just like grumbling to herself, like
It's almost like that maybe you're better whenever you have the party with.
it's almost like that, isn't it? But she's she's stubborn.
I think this is past stubbornness now.
We'll see where it goes. As
So
morning comes,
it's uncomfortable, and she's just like, go back to Gil. Just carry my cat like a sack of potatoes.
Who?
All right.
Drag my.
Yeah, who's Gil?
I swear at this point he's just gonna change it, like say, "Hey, my name's Gil now."
I mean, he told me.
I know what's gonna happen though.
Uh.
At that point, everyone's gonna suddenly remember to call you What's-His consistently.
It's like, we have stated you could technically do that. It's just everyone other than us would think you as what's.
Yeah, basically everyone who knew you before would be like, "Oh yeah, Colonel What's-His. I remember him."
Technically, it's General What's-His now.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
You see Lucian coming in, sopping wet, and her braids are like coming out, and she looks tired and sad, and has her cat like carrying like a sack of potatoes, and she just skulls.
And What's-His is just sitting there at the table with breakfast and a nice drink in a warm area.
She kind of looks at it. That better be coffee.
No, it's not.
As everyone wakes up for the new day, what would you all like to do today?
Sleep.
All right, Lucian, you head to bed. What are the rest of you doing?
Doing what he can to help get troops mobilized and ready to go.
Okay.
Because Lucian's right, we do need to get a move on.
All right. Anything from the rest of you?
I think what I even can do.
All right. Well, I'll circle back to you in the meanwhile.
Did it's the next day, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, have they brought have I been brought the like a list of candidates for the new general?
You haven't been brought a list, but they have gathered the militia in the square and are waiting for you. Presumably, they'll just introduce you to them in person.
Very well. Caleb will head down then.
All right. Since wants to help with the troops as well, he'll tag along. Zephyr, have you decided anything yet? It's okay if not. I'll circle back to you later if not. Just want to check.
I guess I'll just kind of wander around, just go for a walk, I guess.
Okay.
Also, message.
Ooh.
All right. Caleb, what's his?
Feeling I know what it is, but
As
Doubt that.
Lucian tucks in for bed, you two head to the square to see what the troops have brought you.
You
As they
messaged me, Austin.
Oh, well, Matt, the hunter knows now.
It's okay. As the two of you approach the troops, you see that Travis and Mike have organized a good chunk of the militia, and as they see the two of you approach, Travis gives you a smile, Caleb, and good day, Your Majesty.
Good day to you as well. Do we have our potential candidates?
Indeed, we do. He steps aside and waves his hat for presumably the candidates to step forward. You see two men step forward. One is dressed all in furs, mostly furs and feathers from various creatures from the Sprintwood. His skin is weathered by time in the sun. He's got a rather handsome face. And he looks to you with a wide, crinkly smile. The sort of smile that, like, a grandpa would give his grandkid. Affectionate, but with that kind of tempered wisdom to it.
Is he trying to influence the king's decision?
Roll insight.
Insight. Good. Guess what Caleb gained the proficiency in over time. Over the break.
Yeah, can't come in handy already.
Okay, let me do some math here. 18 plus 6 is 24.
Caleb, you study the furred man carefully. He doesn't seem like he's trying to influence you. It just seems like he's trying to be friendly. He doesn't carry himself like someone who has the kind of decorum to influence you like that. He seems like he's a commoner.
Okay.
The other man that steps forward is almost his exact opposite. He is dressed in a very simple set of leathers, a long leather coat. As while the snow has stopped and the sky is clear, there is still a few inches of snow, so everyone's a little bundled up. The man is somewhat thin, still rather handsome, admittedly, but you can see a few gray hairs. But what mostly catches your attention is the collection of scars riddling his face and neck, his beady eyes that indicate a certain amount of darkness to him, and the very visible scimitar on his belt.
Okay. So these are the two candidates, I presume?
Yes, Your Majesty. I considered our options and decided that the best course of action might be to select people that are qualified, but that the troops respect. Unfortunately, that person is not me. These two are the most popular among the troops. If you appoint one of them, the rest of them are sure to follow their lead. Whether or not they can follow yours is another matter entirely, though, Your Majesty. And he says that part low enough that only you and What's-His can hear it.
Caleb will look to them and will be like, well, I guess I shall allow you the opportunity to introduce yourselves.
The man in the furs steps forward first and holds out his hand to you in a friendly gesture.
Caleb will return the gesture.
It's a real pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty. Name's Goody Proctor. I don't know if you recognize me. I'm a poacher from Fuse.
Oh, really?
That's right, Your Majesty. I was one of them what came to help defend the city against that siege of yours. Let me say I'm frankly glad how things turned out, even if things got a little messy for your pop there. He gives a kind of nervous smile.
It was unfortunate that things got so complicated, but it is fortunate that it ended relatively easily. And I appreciate you turning out to support us.
He gives a crinkled smile. Least I can do, Your Majesty. If you're willing to appoint me to lead the troops here, I'll make sure to keep them safe, teach them how to shoot. I know enemy soldiers ain't the same as wild bears, but, you know, and he gives a smirk. I'm sure I'll be able to make do. You
Yeah.
can see the
You'd be
troops.
surprised how close and similar they actually are.
Ain't that the truth? What'd you say your name was?
What's this?
Ah, pleasure to meet you. Goody Proctor. As you kind of glance at the troops, you can see several of them kind of excitedly whispering to each other, as though Caleb and this man talking are like two celebrities. You can see what Travis meant, that this guy is popular.
And what would your name be? Looking to the other person.
The man kind of chews on something in his mouth as he steps forward, and as he stands in front of you, he tilts and spits what appears to be tobacco into the snow, staining it. Well, it's a real pleasure to meet you, Your Highness. And you know that there's a certain amount of sarcasm when he says that, although he does have a good-natured grin on his face. You can call me Thomas Finn. I'm a patron of your family's cuisine. And he gestures with what appears to be a half-full thing of vodka to the Bear's Lodge nearby. I may not be a soldier, and he does air quotes, in the traditional sense, but I know what it means to take a man's face from his head when I need to. And I know the people here. I like to think they like me well enough. And as he says that, he raises his arms, and you can hear several bandits in the crowd whistle and clap. Thomas crosses his arms and puffs out his chest proudly as he smiles to you. You show us where the money is, and we'll follow you, Your Majesty. Long as the money's good. And he kind of picks at his teeth thoughtfully.
Could Caleb, since I already incited the other one, I'm going to incite this one too.
Go for it. Roll insight. See if you can discern his motivations.
I got the same roll.
Looking over him, he again appears like he's being sincere. In fact, the only thing you get the impression he's hiding is, ironically, that he strikes you from his demeanor as more well-intentioned than he's letting on. While he insists that this is all about money, and of course the offer of potential loot, you of course get the impression that that's certainly an aspect of it, but looking at his demeanor, something about him seems trustworthy to you. You can't put your finger on it, but you just get that air. And as before, you and What's both notice it. While it's different people than those who like the other guy, you do get the impression that people do seem to like him. And he mentioned being from Rosewick and being a patron of the Bear's Lodge, so you get the impression he knows a lot of people here who seem to like him. The fact that he doesn't seem to have a soldier's background is concerning, but if his claim is true, he's killed people in bar fights before, so...
As the two of you know, you're being considered for the position of the General for Defense. So, I have a quick question for both of you.
Shoot, Your Majesty. Whatever.
It was Volpine, right?
Yeah.
Me and General Volpine are going to be leaving to to send a message to Barbarous and maybe make some claims for us, along with allies. If a force should arrive while we are, say, from the Concord, what would be your preferred way to deal with it?
Goody kind of considers his response, but as he sees Thomas step forward, he steps aside with a smile and a bow. You have the floor. I need some time to think. Thomas crosses his arms and considers you. Is it a force we can take?
Let's say that it's a force that could go either way.
Well, I'd have the boys hole up here, lock it down, no one in or out, get a messenger out to Fuse to give us reinforcements. See if we can't trap them in a flank. That's where we shine, I reckon. That don't work. We sound the retreat and try and regroup with Vulpine's forces wherever it is you guys are going.
Can Caleb insight this response?
Roll insight.
Okay, that's going to be. Well, I guess that'd be 25 then.
You don't detect any dishonesty in what he's saying. It appears that would be his strategy. Just hold down the fort, get Fuse to flank, and then once, if the flanking isn't enough to completely shut down the enemy army and they're still at risk of losing, then just retreat from Rosewick and regroup with your forces.
Okay. And he doesn't sense any deception about it? Like maybe he's just trying to tell him a response he wants to hear?
Yeah, like I said, as far as you can tell, he is being straightforward with you.
Okay. And what was the other one? I'm still memorizing their names.
Goody Proctor.
And Mr. Proctor, what about you?
Well, Your Majesty, I reckon no reason to fight when we can negotiate. I'd see about figuring out exactly what it is these Concord folks of yours want from us. See if we can give it to them without losing too many lives. But if it comes down to it and talking our way out ain't an option, then I'm prepared to hold down the fort and die if I have to, Your Majesty.
Very well. Tell me what has brought the two of you into this service.
Rosewick's my home, Your Majesty. I reckon if anyone's gonna keep it safe, might as well be me. Besides, reckon it might as well be somebody who knows the people, knows their strengths and weaknesses. He starts pointing to random individuals in the crowd, although as you and his eyes follow his finger, he does appear to at least be able to back up what he's saying as he points people out. For instance, I know that he's got a bum leg, so I'd put him on a rooftop to be a sharpshooter. No sense having him on the ground. I know he's a drunk, so let's just give him 2 daggers and send him into the fray, preferably as unsober as he can get. And as he rattles off different people, he seems to have a pretty solid plan of each individual Tebadrin's strengths and weaknesses and how to take advantage of them and how to minimize exposure of their weaknesses. I have a family here, Your Majesty, and friends too. If it keeps the city safe, I'm going to do everything I can. But, and he kind of glances to Goody with a smirk, I ain't stupid. A city's not worth dying for. Which is why I'm going to take everyone who can still walk at that point and regroup with you. Goody for his part, is quiet at your question and kind of nervously drums his fingers against his belt. Eventually, he smiles and tilts his head. Well, it's just the right thing to do, ain't it?
I would think, okay, Caleb will insight him first,
Roll
just
insight.
to be sure. 24.
Looking at him, he does seem to genuinely believe what he's saying. It's unusual for a Tibadrian, but given how popular he is among them, maybe that's why. He seems like he earnestly just wants to help defend the city because it's just a good thing to do. No ulterior motive beyond that.
And then I'll insight the other guy as well.
All right.
That's going to be a 17.
He seems like he's telling the truth. It's just a pragmatic, this is his home, and there's no sense not trying to defend it if he can. He's got family, he's got friends, and he's going to try and save as many of them as he can, even if it means losing the city itself.
Caleb, if I might, I had a thought. Instead of picking between the two, why not let them both lead? They'll balance each other out. We have one who's good-natured. Well, they're both good-natured, but one who's more... What's the word I'm looking for? Relaxed, while the other is more, let's get out there and do this. I think they'll balance each other out quite nicely.
Or,
And that way, neither is undermined because they're both well respected.
or they could wind up just disagreeing and achieving nothing.
Huh? We've gotten this far.
I will consider the options. We have some time to still gather forces and prepare them. I shall think about this. The two of you have given me much to think about. I will have a decision soon.
Well, try not to hurt yourself too bad thinking about it, Your Majesty. And he kind of claps you on the shoulder. Again, a bit too familiar for a commoner to a king, but...
Caleb's not too bothered by it.
The other man just puts his hands in his jacket pockets and shrugs. Whatever you decide on, your kingliness. Oh, and, was it? Don't go
Correct.
spreading lies about me. I'm a lot of things, but good-natured ain't one of them. And he gives you a smirk.
Yeah. Matter of opinion.
Who was the one that Caleb was talking to before?
Travis.
Caleb will quietly say to Travis, I want you to take our bet. I want you to find the best, I guess, investigator we can in Tabeja. Someone who's good at finding out things, to find out about them. And maybe some of us sneaky.
As you wish, Your Majesty, but for what it's worth, I did do some background checking on both of them myself.
I would like to hear that. I would like all the information available to me to make sure I make the best choice for all of us.
He gives a nod, and if you want my personal suggestion, I would go with Mr. Proctor. He may not be a local, but he's well respected among all Tibadrians. He is an excellent shot, and he has experience with leadership. He's an inexperienced raider, but he leads our hunting parties for Fuse. He knows how to lead, he knows how to shoot, and while he may be shooting somewhat above his station, he kind of furrows his brow a bit. The men find that sort of demeanor relaxing, puts them at ease.
I just want to be certain. I want all the information in front of me, and I appreciate your input.
But Thomas Finn isn't trustworthy. He wasn't exaggerating. I've gotten confirmation from at least 3 different witnesses that during a bar fight he once carved a man's heart out and ate it, just to make a point.
Well, our offensive general we know eats people too.
But that cannot be the standard of our people, Your Majesty.
I understand what you're saying. Again, this is why I wish to be certain. Were you able to tell me, how are your skills of insight?
He kind of gives you a nervous smile. Perhaps not as good as I would like, Your Majesty. I have enough relationship trouble to attest for that.
Still, did you pick up anything on them?
Good, he's hiding something. I don't know what, but I can see it. He got nervous when you asked him why he wants to join the army. And Caleb, that does actually throw you for a loop. He had seemed perfectly earnest to you.
This is why I want to be certain about all of them. If they are up to anything, maybe some quiet observation will reveal it. Or any further information we can learn on their past. Do you think it can be done?
I'll do what I can, Your Majesty.
I'm sure in a land of thieves we can find someone who knows how to learn something and someone who knows how to be quiet.
The trick is making sure that they're quiet about what they find afterwards. I'll see to it, Your Majesty. I'll inform you as soon as I have a report.
Thank you.
As the militia begins to part, anything else from the two of you?
Caleb would like to find Dimitri.
Okay. What's his? Anything from you?
Just keeping an eye on things because he knows we're running out of time.
Okay. Zephyr, other than what you told me, anything?
Nope.
Alright. Caleb, as the party and the militia splits off to attend to their personal business and return to business as usual, you head deeper into Rosewick to track down Dimitri. And thankfully, he's not particularly hard to find. You find him in the Bear's Lodge chatting with Nyezdu, but he perks up when you take a seat next to him. Hey, Caleb, need something?
Possibly. I guess I could also talk to Miezdu too. Which one was the one that was apparently a regular at the Bear's Lodge?
Thomas Finn.
What can you tell me, Miezdu? Can you tell me anything about someone who says they've been here a lot? Thomas Finn?
You can see both Dimitri and Miezdu crack wide grins at the mention of the name. Hard to find someone in Rosewick who doesn't know him. What do you want to know?
What does he like? I'm considering people to replace. Who is the one that died?
Wicker.
Again, Caleb's probably known these people for years. I've known them for a couple hours. What was it again? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
Wicker.
Wicker. We're looking for someone to replace Wicker's position. He's one of the people we're considering.
Miezdu kind of gives a bit of a shrug and, well, I don't know much about military strategy, but I would trust him to lead us. He's a good man, knows how to defend himself. Dimitri pipes up, not to mention he's hilarious.
But one thing that I have to be very careful about, if I'm going to leave him as the sole authority in the city for any amount of time, what are his ambitions?
Miezdu, at this, is actually kind of quiet, and Dimitri kind of glances to him before giving a shrug and looking to you. Well, I don't know if Miez knows anything, but As far as I know, his only ambition is to get as drunk as possible and, uh, what's a polite way to say this in our current company? Fuck his wife?
Well, it all sounds like normal things from what I understand. But I just have to be certain that he's someone I can trust to be be an authority figure here and not immediately attempt to usurp me. Last thing I want is Debater to get caught up in some kind of crisis over our throne.
Yeah, fair point. Well, I've known him a while. He seems trustworthy enough. Usually, if there's whispers of anything outside of Rosewick, he's the first person to grab a weapon and start looking around for it. So we know he's willing to stick his neck out for us. If he did try to go against you, it'd probably only be because he genuinely thought he'd be a better leader than you. You could probably negotiate with him at that point.
Hopefully so. But I have asked one of my advisors to have some people look into him and watch him along with the other candidate while I'm deliberating. Just to be sure neither of them have any ideas of grandeur. I want someone who's effective, but someone who will be content. At least for now.
Well, if you ever find someone like that, let me know. And he gives you a wide smirk.
I believe the other one's name was Goldie, right?
Goody.
Goody. It was
Yeah, he
Goody.
had the GI right.
Goody. What was the last name?
Proctor.
The other candidate is this man called Goody Proctor.
Both of them shoot their brows up, and Miezdu kind of glances to Dimitri, who kind of gives a all the way from Fuse, huh?
Apparently, he was one of the few who showed up at Rosewick during the potential siege.
Yeah, that makes sense. If I had known he was here, I would have felt a lot better about our chances.
What do you know about him?
What I know are stories, but from what I hear, it's stories he can back up. I've heard he's such a good shot with a crossbow, he can shoot a fly off of a bear's pelt without hitting the bear itself. Miezdu kind of gives a slow nod. There's even whispers that he's not human. He is something stronger, greater. He kind of gives a small smirk, and if you believe the drunks that filter in here, and the stories I've heard from my girls, the man was born in a bolt of lightning. He's able to jump entire riverways. Never misses a shot. Strong enough to carry men over his shoulder and throw them further than a cannon.
Quite the stories about him.
Miezdu kind of gives a shrug. Never met him personally, but I know he's greatly respected in Fuse. He may not be a nobleman, but he carries as much weight as one. I've heard that before he joined us, he actually was a nobleman for a foreign kingdom. Which one, I don't know. It's a different version every time I hear the story.
Well, I didn't pick up much deception about him, but one of my advisors did get the feeling he was hiding something.
Everyone has something to hide.
Yes, and like I said, if I'm going to trust him like this, I'm going to need to know what he is hiding. So he's also going to be observed and looked into further. Speaking of which, Dimitri, I was wondering if our friends would be willing to help a little bit more.
At this, Dimitri kind of gives a bit of a wince, and
If not, I can make do without.
sorry, sweetie. It's not that I don't want to help you, it's just I like my heart still beating in my chest where it is. So, spying on Mr. Finn is out, and I don't think anyone in this kingdom is going to be able to sneak up on Goody without being caught.
Anybody that you would be willing to spy on. Good morning.
Dimitri gives a wave as Lucian comes downstairs.
What was that, Lucian?
I had quite the evening. You might want to sit down for this.
Very well.
Lucifer's in the Sprintwood. Somewhere.
You're saying your brother, Lucifer Lefakir, is in the Sprintwood.
Da.
A known member of the Concord.
Da. I was going to tell you last night, but I was really, really tired. And also, you've been doing your kingly things, and I didn't want to bother you, but I kind of... She yawns again, but it was important.
Then I wonder if Dimitri and Miezdu picked up on that seriousness of what Lucian said.
They pick up on that it's serious, but they don't know who this is or why this matters. So they look understandably concerned, but they don't know the full context. So,
Dimitri, right? Your name is Dimitri.
that's my name.
There's a potential danger, let's say, in these woods, and I would like them to be brought to me.
Why are you telling this to him?
You said he's good at finding people.
Yeah, but my people aren't fighters. We just gather information.
So gather him and bring him to me.
Listen, I will deal with this. I cannot, in good faith, leave for Barbaros with someone like that running around.
You think I want to? I mean, I want to leave as soon as possible, but if he is here, we need to, deal with that situation.
I'm going to talk to Volpine, see if we can't start searching for him.
I'll come along.
Good luck. Stay safe.
He said, you'll know when he said, what did he say exactly? You'll know when I'm here or something?
Roll history.
Oh, fuck you.
If I remember correctly, you said you will hear me when I arrive.
Yeah,
What's
you'll
his
hear
inspiration?
me.
What's his inspiration?
At this point, I'm legit just gonna start divvying out inspiration for people who are remembering things.
Yeah,
sorry,
I thought that's what it was, but I wasn't, certain.
Yeah, I wasn't
Look, Matthew,
certain.
I'm not
I didn't
good with
want
names.
to, yeah, and also I have a memory problem. We've talked about that.
And you said I get inspiration for remembering?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he said something about knowing when he was around, so, maybe look for a bunch of dead things walking around. Or ichor beasts, or some kind of dramatic...
Please stop making me think about all the ways this could be going wrong.
Well, I mean, if it's gonna be anything, it's gonna just be dramatic, because he's the fucking drama queen.
Caleb's gonna go find the general immediately.
I'm gonna go along with him.
Alright. As the two of you go and seek out Volpine, he's not a difficult man to find. You can see that he's skulking around the castle, seeming like he's just kind of idling and thinking a bit. He looks a little surprised as you two approach him, and...
The lizard guy, right?
Yes.
Yeah, lizard guy. I like him.
Well, that was quick.
There might be a situation.
It seems like it's going around.
Is
Oh?
there something else going on?
Not beyond what you've told me, just... He gives a bit of a grin.
Well, my brother may be causing some trouble in the Sprintwood. He said he was, and I quote, working.
And
He's-
I take it that him working is bad for us.
He's one of the. I believe he's inner circle, isn't he?
He
Yeah,
is.
he's inner circle. He answers directly to the Lady in White.
He's a member of the inner circle of the Scar Concord.
I see. And he's here.
Somewhere. He said somewhere in the Sprintwood working. That could mean a number of things for my brother.
And I, for one, do not like the idea of one of our enemies' inner circle being nearby while I'm planning to leave.
Understood.
I have a feeling that it's something to distract me from going to Sunshine.
Because didn't he say he was there to do a work favor?
Mm-hmm.
I believe that it is prudent that we need to gather people to search the Sprintwood and find what he is doing. And if possible, bring him here.
I don't
Understood.
think that would be a very good idea. If you send out people, he'll kill them. You won't have people coming back. You'll
Well,
just
then
be
what do
sending
you
people out
expect
to
me
their
to
death.
do? Sit
on
here and
him.
wait for him to show up with God knows what?
Yes.
I don't think he's coming here. I think he's going to Barbarous. Because isn't Barbarous in the Sprintwood as well?
It's north of the Sprintwood, but yes, if he's traveling by land, yes, he would have to go through the Sprintwood to get to Barbarous.
And even then, if Lucian tells him that we're wanting to meet with him,
I already did that.
then he might be willing to stop by in an area of our choosing instead. That way he doesn't come to the city.
I could suggest such a thing. I've been wanting to talk to him anyway.
They could set a trap for him.
I'm not.
Not killing,
I'm not
just
entirely.
trapping.
I'm not entirely comfortable with the idea of trapping my brother.
Well, it's better than
Well,
letting him go
unfortunately for
free.
you, your brother is continuously done things that would warrant far worse. And I have a kingdom to think about. I can't
Well,
have
I have
someone
my
like that
family
move-
to think about.
I can't have someone like that moving freely this close to home, especially whenever we're planning something like this.
And we're not saying kill him, we're just saying capture him.
That too.
I knew that you guys would do this if I said something.
I don't know what you expect. We're not, as I said, we're not going to kill him.
That or not.
But by all means, if you would prefer that he kill us all, then please, you do you.
She kind of roll her eyes. Of course, I don't want you guys to die.
Do you have any suggestions what might be a good place to set up this trap?
Ordinarily, I would suggest the Bader Farms, but as we know, it's been compromised by the Agesians. Perhaps... we could meet on the edge of Lake Thalasso.
I'm
Isn't
not
that the lake
sure.
with? Isn't
Yeah,
that the one
I'm
that
not
Eats
sure.
is in?
Yeah, I'm not really sure that's a good idea.
Matthew, isn't that the case?
Yes.
Yes, I was
Isn't that-
literally just about to say.
Isn't that the lake with you know who?
Volpine gives a wide smile. Indeed it is.
You think it's wise to be so close to such a place? Even our thieves usually don't go near it.
Perhaps not, but he kind of crosses his arms. That ground is neutral. We have no influence there, nor does he. I don't know exactly what this man is capable of, but I reckon even he would have difficulties overturning the power of a god, especially on short notice. We meet him there, it's neutral. He can't set the trap for us, and if we get there first, we set the trap for him.
Well, I guess it would be a good time to point out. Remember, he does have that special eye of his where he can see through solid objects.
I was going to point out that, but, you know, nobody wants to listen, so...
I'm sorry, you literally didn't even try to say anything.
Sorry.
Guys.
That was way too passive-aggressive, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, this is my brother we're talking about, Caleb. I understand that he is doing things that are wrong, but this is my family.
Lucian, do you want to know something?
Go on.
I believe, did Zephyr ever voices... Hang on, I gotta check before I do anything. Did Zephyr ever voice his concern that Caleb's father might be the Wolfhound?
No.
Did anyone voice a concern like that?
I don't
No.
think so, yeah. But it'd be your own concern.
Fucking Zephyr! I could have owned her right here!
I mean, your own concern, it's like concern, it's basically suspicion. It's confirmed.
But even then, you could still use the whole idea of, you know, the previous king of the bedroom, who technically raised you.
I guess Zephyr.
Yeah, but everybody knows Caleb Bate kind of had a bit iffy on the whole, considering them family or not.
Yeah, he didn't think twice about ruining his siblings and parents.
Okay, well, okay, Caleb will make a point that's similar, but see, I understand. There's nothing I wouldn't have done to find my father, my actual father. Before the whole thing with Dr. Knight, I was willing to do unbelievable things to achieve that goal. So I understand that this is difficult. But just because you are family with someone does not mean that anything they do just doesn't exist.
I never said that. Nor did I imply that.
But you do. Every time we suggest we need to do something to...
I said I would deal with him, so let me deal with him. He is not yours to correct.
Lucian, this isn't about correction. This is about doing what needs to be done. He is a member of the Concord.
So you're just trying to say that you're all for my brother dying, just, you know...
I didn't say
And then
that.
I lose everything.
I never said he had to die.
That's what it sounds like.
But he is working for a group that is trying to create these monsters for reasons we don't even understand. It is necessary that, if possible, we remove him from the factor. Whether that be in a prison cell or whatever.
Do you not think I haven't thought about this for... since I saw him in the ball? Since I saw him the first time in 5-10 years, you don't think I didn't think all of those things through? You think that I'm just doing things just out of, you know, just out of the flying out of my ass, but you know, I actually do think about things, Caleb.
And besides,
Constantly.
yet every time we come up with a suggestion of how to bring him in, where you could then talk to him if you wished, maybe even, I don't know, maybe you might be capable of pulling off something like we did with Dr. Knight.
That's what
But
I'm
why do you wish? you don't have to do this just wherever he decides to meet you. We can do this in a situation where he's not going to do more harm while you try.
I don't want him to hurt anyone else. Of course I don't.
I promise you, if we are able to capture him, you will have plenty of opportunity to talk with him. And if you do manage to convince him, or whatever it is you wish to do, and he's no longer going to work with them, I will gladly let him work with us.
You're not going to have a choice, Caleb. Because when it becomes between him and you, I'm going to choose him.
Well, if it comes between you and him and my kingdom, it won't be a choice.
Now that we're done threatening each other...
No, well, that's why I'm telling you. I don't want your kingdom to go. I mean, you just got it, and I do see potential in you, Caleb. That's why I'm telling you all these things. But when you become defensive with me, and when you insult me, that doesn't help. It doesn't make me trust you, Caleb. So while you go play king, I'm gonna go find my brother. And she leaves.
I'm sorry, Lucian, but I cannot let you do that.
What are you gonna do?
Whatever it is you make me do.
I'm not making you do anything, Caleb.
You're consorting with my enemy, who tried
Your enemy, Caleb. They're just as much of my enemy for me as it is to you.
Yet you
That's
do
why
not
I
treat
want
him
him
as
out.
such. I almost question whose side you're actually on.
Well, in that case, we could have said the same thing about you with your dad, me with my dad, and just half the Scar Concord that we're related
If my
to.
dad joined the Concord, it would hurt me. But I would not side with him.
The previous king, I'm sorry. Not your
You
actual
already know
dad.
my feelings about him.
Either way, all we're doing is running around in circles, pissing each other off, and making enemies out of ourselves. We're not getting anywhere.
And again, I wonder if that's almost intentional.
I know it is. They sent him here, I think, to distract us from going to Barbara's. So I think as much as I want...
If they are trying to stop me from going, it's going to work. As long as he's here, I cannot leave. If he's gathering some kind of army, I have to be here. So either we get him to leave, or he goes into a cell. Or I don't leave.
Well, maybe you shouldn't leave. I mean, you have so many things to do. Why do you even want to come with us anymore?
Because I want to fight this battle with them. Barbarous is one of them right on our border. He has to be dealt with. Unfortunately, now a closer threat is here, and I need him gone, whatever it is. Either in a cell or gone. If he leaves, if he gives, or whatever, or if I can maybe even confirm that he's not threatening to Baedra. If I can confirm
That's why I
that
wanted to meet with him, Caleb. I tried to meet with him last night, but he didn't show.
Which is why he's probably heading towards Barbarous. probably to reinforce him to help against Sun Dragon.
I need to know for certain. That's why I wanted to send out scouts. If he is in the north, then it may be likely that that is where he's going.
Maybe keep them at a distance. Because otherwise, I can't promise anything.
Very well. I want scouts to find his location and report it back.
As you wish, Your Majesty.
I'm gonna go get
I don't think that's gonna go well.
What would you have me do?
I'm just saying, maybe, and this was a big maybe, why don't Lucian and I go see if we can't find him? We might be at better odds as finding him and surviving than just allowing your scouts to go. He won't have any trouble just killing your scouts.
Don't think he would.
He doesn't know them. Now us, he's more likely to sit down with us instead of just flat out attacking.
If you wish to join the search firm, I will not stop you. But I want you to go with her.
That's what I just said.
I was agreeing with that point.
Will you allow me to come with you, Lucian?
Alright. I gotta trust someone, I guess.
Then, let's go find your brother.
I'll assemble the scouting party.
The orders are to, if they see him, immediately return with the news.
Understood, Your Majesty.
Do not engage him for any reason.
It'd be harder to convince them to than to not.
I don't know. He may not like. He looks very squishy. Honestly, they'll think that they could take
he's wearing his armor. Then he doesn't look
he's a beanpole. He looks squishy.
I-
Armor or not.
full.
But he's stronger than he looks. Just keep that in mind.
Understood.
I would like to also add, for you two, I ask you please, do not tell him anything of what we are doing.
You really
I'm not
think I'm
in-
that stupid, don't you?
You literally have done it before.
The only thing we'll probably
I gave
tell him is everything
information
he
for
knows.
information. Isn't that how you do things, Caleb? Information for information?
No, I'm pretty sure usually we just get out a knife and take the information.
Sometimes you have to make deals. At least Zephyr understands that.
Yes, but remember, an equitable deal between us and them benefits them more than us, right?
Well, they already know we're going after Barbarous. It's pretty well known. Even the Concord members who came with that army knew we were going after Barbarous.
I'm just...
So what else is there to tell them at that
Just-
point?
Don't tell him any information that you don't absolutely have to. We don't know what exactly they know. We know that they do know we're going there, but we don't know how much of what we're doing, what our plan is, that they know.
Caleb,
Let's make sure we're not giving them anything more.
Well,
need
as
you-
far as we know, we
know-
don't have a plan.
Caleb, it is so frustrating because no
What?
matter what I do for you, no matter how hard I try, you don't Trust me. I told you I will take care of it, so I will take care of it. I give you a little leeway. All I ask is for a little leeway. I make mistakes.
Just be careful.
Sorry I can't be perfect.
Just be careful.
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Fine. All I ask is be careful, and I will trust.
Thank you.
Well, let's go gather some supplies before we head out, Lucian.
Goodness knows we're gonna need it.
I'll have the scouts set up camp outside the walls. They'll be ready to leave by nightfall.
Oh, we'll be gone before then.
As you wish.
What, now?
Well, yes, let's go gather some supplies and we'll head out immediately. Better to go find your brother now than have him do something else while we're waiting.
Sure.
In that case, what's this, Lucian? What supplies do you wish to retrieve?
Okay, this is going to be very important. I'm going to need lots of spell components. I'll take off what I need and I'll add them as I need.
Yeah.
Just food.
Alright.
Other than that, he's got everything else on him already.
1 gold for every 2 days of rations. So basically, like 1 gold to get both of you 1 set of rations, however many you want to get.
How long we're gonna be out there? Jeez.
I don't know. We don't know where he's at.
We probably should get, warm things. It's kind of cold and wet. Not very comfortable.
Don't you worry. I know how to make fires at least.
Oh, that's not what I'm worried about. I can stay warm just fine thanks to my ring. Oh, you mean for you?
Oh, and I already have plenty of food, apparently.
Alright. In that case...
Let's go hunt an elf.
So, what exactly is the plan? Where are you guys going, and what are you doing?
I'm going to... Actually, I'm gonna send a message to Lucifer.
Yeah, I was probably gonna say, why don't you ask him exactly where he's at?
That's the plan, Stan.
Alright. As you conclude your shopping trip, I'll say, Zephyr, on your walk around the city, you do get a glimpse of the elves as they're just picking up spell supplies and food.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just nod
Do
to
we
that
see
'cause
Zephyr? Is he stealthing? Do we see him?
I mean,
He's just, yeah, from what you say, he's just walking around.
I'll give him a little wave.
they'll kind of give like a slow wave back.
What are you doing out here all by yourself?
Just walking.
Well, Lucifer's here.
Well, here in the forest. We don't know where yet.
He's somewhere, and basically I'm gonna go talk to him for a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna go find him.
Do you want to come?
That just sounds like a lot more drama than I'd care to go for. So.
You think that's drama? You should have talked to your brother earlier. That was a whole lot of drama between him and Lucian. No offense, Lucian.
Yes.
But we got it sorted after a while.
I guess we just needed to bicker for a minute.
Well,
Matters of opinions and such.
y'all have fun with that, I guess.
Enjoy your walk, I guess?
That's the idea.
Yeah, that's fair.
As we leave, Lucian's just gonna pipe to Gil. Weird, right?
Eh, it's a little weird, but like, was his dad walking with him, or was it just Zephyr?
You're muted.
Zeph, yeah, I got it. Zeph, I'll leave it up to you. Thank you, though.
Trying to think, would I invite my dad to this?
He won't force himself to. Basically, as long as you're not leaving the city, he won't force himself into your presence. Just more like he'll totally tag along if you want him to. He's healthy enough to.
Yeah. Nah, he'll go by himself.
So yeah, he's just by himself.
Where's
Yeah,
your
that
dad?
is a little weird.
Yeah, like where was his dad? Didn't he like have a whole thing?
I mean, as far as I'm aware, he's back at the lodge resting up or something.
I totally forgot you were standing right there. I am so sorry. But you know, you're welcome to come on the escapade.
Yeah, seems like he might have something else planned, but it's fine. We don't want to bring too many, or your brother might get suspicious that we're there to corner him.
I don't think it would worry him.
Probably not. He'd laugh at us.
All right. With your supplies gathered, as Zephyr heads back into town, the two of you head up outside. It's about early afternoon by this point. The sky is clear, the snow is melting. At this point, it's just like a couple inches, and even that's getting slushy. What would you like to do?
Let's go look for Lucifer.
You said you wanted to send him a message?
Yeah, I will tell him. I will say, sorry, Westis and I are looking for you. Can you please give us your location so we can talk, maybe?
There's a brief pause, but eventually he does respond. That was fast. Let me see here. I'm in some shitty farmhouse right now.
Oh, I know exactly where
I know.
that is.
Yeah, same.
I'll just be like, stay there, we'll be there as soon as possible. Literally, sit. Stay, good Lucifer.
From here, how far would it be?
It's a day's journey to get there if you stop to rest.
Is there any way we can get... Oh, wait! I can fucking teleport my way over there. Transport via plants.
Yeah, you guys are at that level now.
Yeah, let's teleport.
What's this? Is that good with you?
Hey, since we know where we're going, yeah, by all means.
Lucian, as you're prepping the cast of transport via plant, since it sounds like you used another sending spell to respond to him.
Yeah.
He'll kind of pipe up again with that almost audible roll of the eyes as he responds. All right, well, make it quick. I'm not going to be here for very long, and I don't want to be.
All right, let's go. Now. So, abracadabra.
He's waiting on you.
Abracadabra, I found a tree and I cast it.
Lucian saying a very eloquent prayer to Shiva.
No, Marzana.
All right. Saying a very eloquent prayer to Marzana. The tree rots and dies as a portal opens on its trunk. And the two of you step through. Where are you going?
To the farmhouse. Where?
Major Farms.
Yeah, to Baker Farms.
All right.
Closest tree to Major Farm.
I'm sure there was a tree in the square or something.
There was trees on the outside, so you can end
Perfect.
up on the outskirts. Before we focus on them, Caleb and Zephyr, anything from the two of you for the rest of the day? Just because their thing is obviously going to take a hot minute, so I want to make sure you guys get a chance to do anything.
Yeah, Caleb's just gonna wait for. Just be waiting for word back on the candidates and all.
Okay.
Waiting for
Zephyr?
word on this meeting.
All right. And anything from you, Zeph?
I'm just out of character. I'm thinking they don't fully realize.
What?
Well, what they don't know might hurt them.
They don't realize what.
We'll see. Maybe. Perhaps. But nothing.
You got something to say? Say it.
No. That'd be metagaming. That'd be metagaming.
Oh, me,
Yeah,
me.
he's got a point.
No,
As-
he's got a point.
As the two of you step through, Major Farms is a little bit on the slushy side too. Although it's more muddy than snow, you notice. That is the first thing you notice. The second thing you notice is that the once completely isolated and abandoned farmland is now populated.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This is what I was afraid of.
I was like, there were dwarves that were mentioned.
You see,
We knew about that.
you see a bunch of Agesian dwarves carrying barrels and crates of some form of cargo, grabbing them from the village, making their way into the forest to the north.
Does Caleb
and
know about
disappearing into
this
it.
incursion?
Yeah, that was mentioned to you. You already sent scouts to investigate that.
Okay, yeah.
It's
I was just
yeah,
making
but-
sure. Just making sure.
Yeah. However, seeing it in person, Lucian, with your passive perception, you do catch something that Caleb's scouts missed. You notice that it's not just dwarves. There's orcs as well. Said orcs seem to be barking orders at the dwarves, who kind of flinch and quiver before picking up barrels and running them off into the forest.
That's interesting.
The snow has been turned to slushy mud by just the sheer amount of traffic of dwarves and orcs, basically turning Tabadra Farms into an impromptu base for themselves for whatever the fuck it is they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You're on the outskirts, so they haven't seen you yet, but you don't see any immediate sign of Lucifer either.
Yeah, he said he was in the farmhouse, so I'm just gonna head to the farmhouse.
Alright,
I'm
should
a
we stealth
run.
it?
Try to be sneaky about it.
We better be sneaky.
We don't want to have to fight his little compatriots here before we can get to him.
No, actually, no. You know what? I'm not gonna be sneaky. I'm just gonna run in.
Oh God.
You wanted to
Alright.
message your brother, let him know we're already here. Maybe he can have them
You
stand
said to be
down.
quick.
He knows if they're
Yeah,
coming.
but
If that's what she's gonna do. It's what she's gonna do.
he'll go with her because it's suicide otherwise.
I'm like, no, I can't. I can't stealth. I think I have disadvantage because of my. I think I have disadvantage.
Armor.
It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You can still try, but yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what you said
Actually,
you're gonna
you
Yeah,
don't have
let's-
disadvantage.
Yep, she's doing it. She's doing
Stick
it.
to the bit. Let's do it.
do. Lucian, as What's-His attempts to formulate a game plan, you just charge out of the forest towards the town. And What's-His not wanting her to go alone, you run to keep pace with her.
Oh, he doesn't
As
even
the
have to
two-
run. She's got
Yeah,
small
fair.
legs.
Yeah, fair. Got little legs. Immediately, you can see several orcs turn their heads and start calling orders in Orcish and picking up javelins and blades. The dwarves, a few of them just drop what they're doing, but at the orcs looking to them and giving them a visible scowl, almost daring them to retreat rather than fight, the dwarves grab axes and nervously ready.
They're
I want to
slow.
call out and comment. Shut up, you guys. We're here to see Lucifer.
Yeah, I was
He's
literally about to say the same thing. Just
If
be
we
like, I'm
wanted
here
to
to see
fight,
my
we would
brother.
already
He's
be doing it.
What's his roll persuasion at disadvantage?
But I was saying I'm here to see my brother.
Roll persuasion flat.
Okay.
I guess he didn't tell them anything.
Not. Well, you haven't
probably
had a
not.
chance yet.
Yeah, to be fair, it's been like literally like 12 seconds basically since
He
Lucy
said
said
to be quick. Listen, he said to be quick.
Well, he didn't know we had that spell at our disposal yet either.
Well, he said to be quick.
19 though.
The orcs kind of look to each other, raise a hand to the dwarves to get them to lower their axes. There's a tense silence for a moment before one of the orcs steps forward and holds up his hand for the two of you to stop your charge. Do you do so?
Yeah.
As the two of you come to a stop, the orc snorts and squints at you.
I'll just look at him. Just look at him. I'm here to see my brother. He's in the farmhouse. He said to be quick, so I was quick.
Weren't expecting company.
I'm not company, I'm family.
Family's company.
Just
Says you
send
go.
one of your little minions to go get him. You can keep an eye on us right here if you, and just send one of your other guys to go.
He gives you a nod, what's his, and snaps his fingers to one of the dwarves who jolts and runs off through the slush deeper
I
into
just kind of
town.
look at him all bored. Yeah. You might want to put down your weapons. I don't think that he'll be too happy that you're threatening me.
The orc gives a wide grin and points the javelin directly at your neck.
I'll just patiently wait.
Your funeral, mate.
You're not left waiting for too long, thankfully. Lucian, you hear a voice behind you.
I'm not
When I said
surprised.
be
He.
quick, I meant more tomorrow than right this second, but I'll take what I can get. What's
You
his,
should've-
Lucian?
I was just gonna be like, you should have been more specific.
You see Lucifer appearing out of Lucian's shadow.
Oh, that's cool.
Her shadow's morphing to form his shape before it solidifies into his humanoid form.
Me trick.
You can see time has taken a bit of its toll on him. It's been a while since you last saw each other. He looks a bit more weathered. There's bags around his eyes, and his organic eye is visibly bloodshot. His hair's grown out longer, but otherwise, he's still the same elf.
Man, you need some sleep.
Yeah, she just kind of frowns and just, let's talk.
Sure thing. Like I said, I'm not going to be here very long, so I guess it is good you got here in a good time. And he waves his hand to the orc. You guys keep working. They won't bother you, right?
will
As
keep
I
running
told
this.
the orc, if we were here to fight, we would have not just run in here.
Ah, that sounds like something Lucian would do.
It depends on the
Oh
day.
no, she did run in here.
Yeah, I 100% did that.
But we're
Yeah,
not
you
planning
guys-
to fight either.
Well, that's good. Alright, you guys keep working. We're good. I want this done on time. Stay on schedule.
I thought we got everything of value out of here already. What are y'all getting?
Oh, we're not taking anything. We're building.
Huh.
As the dwarves get back to work and their orc taskmasters continue to bully them, Lucifer just waves his scarred hand for you two to follow him as he trudges back into the farmland. Let's walk and talk. So,
Yeah, sounds
what's
good.
What's he been up to, Lulu?
That's exactly why I wanted to talk to you. Are we alone?
Tell me everything.
Are we alone? Other than Gil being here?
There's a few orcs and dwarf workers, but they're just going about their business. They're not really paying much mind.
I'm just gonna do some casual talk, and while I do that, I'm going to set up Liamun's tiny hut.
Alright.
Oh, you know, I'm dating someone now. Yeah, I think that's 10 minutes to the cast, so she's just gonna buy herself some time.
Well, if she's going to ritual cast it, she is
Yeah,
10 minutes.
I mean, that's why it's taking 10 minutes, honey.
Alright. Oh yeah, I think I remember you talking about that. How's that going?
She doesn't hate me.
Well, that's an improvement. My love life's going very well as well. Thank you for asking.
She kind of gives him that expression of, yeah, I didn't really care.
And he gives you the expression of, yeah, I know, that's why I said it anyway.
What exactly are you building?
Just helping my work friends with something.
You sure they're your friends?
Positive. They gave me what I wanted. Sounds like a friend to me.
How many more minutes before my dome goes up?
About 9.5, but if you don't want to actually fill the 10 minutes, you can...
Yeah, that would be great! Otherwise, there's gonna be nothing but small talk, and I don't want to do that.
You make small talk with your brother before finally the cast is complete and you form a protective dome. Lucifer grins as it takes shape and stops just at the edge of it.
Oh no, this wasn't to trap you. This is just so we can have some privacy. I don't want
Yeah,
you
I wouldn't have let you do it if I knew it was a trap. I know this spell.
Yeah, it's warm when he walks in.
It's very warm. And nobody can hear us.
Oh no, they can hear, they just can't see.
No, they can't. No, it says on the spell that they can't hear us. It's just mumbling. I think that's what the spell says.
Double check that. I think
What's
we've talked
the
about
spell?
this before.
Tiny hut.
Tiny
Yeah,
hut.
Liam's tiny hut, but tiny hut, just same thing.
Tiny hut 5e.
10 foot springs into existence, remains stationary, spell ends, 9 creatures fit inside, spell fails within, creatures within the dome can move through it freely, barred from passing through it, can't extend to the dome or be cast outside of it, atmosphere size comfortable and dry. I don't see anything about it. Oh, is it Liamon's tiny hut specifically? Maybe that's like...
Yes,
No,
it is.
but I don't think it has anything even now. I think Liam's tiny hut doesn't change anything.
Yeah, it's just adding a name to it. So yeah, people outside will still be able to hear you.
Whatever. I made her feel better.
Yeah, fair.
I wanted to tell you. Don't think that they're your friends.
This
But
again.
I need you to listen before you interrupt me. I think we want the same thing. And I can help you. I can do it.
He tilts his head to the side, seeming confused.
Bring her back. That's what this is for, right?
What are you talking about?
Your mom.
But yeah,
I
who
would
else would
guess.
I be talking about?
Oh! Well, thank you, Lucian, but I've already taken care of it.
I don't like that at all.
I did it. It took me months. I didn't sleep. I barely ate. But I finally got it to work.
It's not... Lucy, that's not how magic works.
That's why I didn't use magic. What did Dr. Knight say it was? Alchemy. I used alchemy.
And what did you do with this alchemy?
Oh.
Alchemy doesn't work that way either, Lucy.
Gotta get him.
Really? Because as I recall, and he pokes at you, What's-his shoulder, and What's-his, you kind of wince as it is hard enough to draw blood as he pinches you harshly.
Oh.
Wait. How? Because he's, is iron and steel.
I said your shoulder, your arm, like just going down from the joint, is metal. You would have made from alchemy. What's the difference?
I mean, a lot of things, Lucy. But we don't have time to cover those things.
I guess it depends on how he did it. Do you mind walking us through what you did? And what the end result was?
It was the same as
A
before.
version, maybe.
I'll give you the cliff notes. I stayed up for weeks. I did some experimenting. Dr. Knight said that they figured out what made you guys work and gave it to me. She said all I had to do was find people who were close enough. And poof, necromancy. Well, alchemy, anyway. It took some doing to find the right candidates, but Dr. Knight eventually showed me two who matched.
Lucy, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. You don't even know if they were compatible. I mean,
Well,
the chances of two completely random people having the compatibility for stability is just outrageously... the numbers just don't add up to me.
That's
You're
why
forgetting
I
one
did
thing. They did raid.
Let
They
him
did get all the information back from the laboratory back in Eden with that
Maybe,
machine that could do compatibility scores.
perhaps, but let him speak.
I didn't just pick random people, Lucien. I'm not stupid.
I didn't say you were.
You I did.
I didn't say you were stupid. I said the action was stupid. Continue.
He rolls his eyes and pointedly directs his next statement at What's-his to ignore you. Dr. Knight said that I needed to pick people who had a similar background because that was more likely to produce a compatible soul. That means I needed two people who loved each other and were family. So that's what I picked.
She crosses her arms and does that go on gesture.
I was originally going to wait. I wanted you to see it whenever I brought them back, but after I heard word about the whole, oh, we have a little baby in charge of the thieves now, I was told that if I was going to do it, it was now or never. So I did it. They'll need time to calm down. I've locked them in their rooms for now. But... And he finally looks back to you, Lucian, and puts his hands on your shoulders with a wide smile that you can't help but see madness in.
Mm-hmm.
But I've done it. I've brought our family back.
I'm guessing
Mom and
you
Dad
brought.
are waiting for us.
Yep.
No.
Oh.
Lucy,
What? Aren't you happy? This is what we wanted. Don't you miss your family? Aren't you tired of these people?
she kind of looks at him, and her eyes are just full of just not them. Can't you see that?
It is, though. That's what Dr. Knight figured out how to do. Bring back the dead without necromancy. I'm not a good enough necromancer to... I wasn't a good enough necromancer to save them, but I am now.
You didn't do it. I could have brought them back for good with necromancy. I'm strong enough now. I could have done it.
Well, you weren't there, so I did it for you.
You know
could
why I
thank you
wasn't
whenever.
there? No, you know why I wasn't there, Lucy? Because you weren't there for me.
I wasn't there for you.
I messaged you every day. Almost. I put my neck out for you. I do everything for you.
And I did everything for you. But it's done now. We're almost done. I just need to pay back the favor to the Concord and they'll let me walk away. We
What
can still
favor?
have our family.
What?
It's not important.
It is important.
Well, we already know what the favor is, Lucian. It was in exchange for you being revived. That and he joined them in exchange, if I'm not mistaken.
I need to hear it from him, Gil.
Who's Gil?
Lucifer's
Shut up.
hands are twitching violently.
I'm just gonna hold his hands in mine and just run my thumb along the back of his hands just soothingly.
They said that Dr. Knight could bring our family back, could bring you back. And they said all they needed in exchange was my necromancy. I told them I wasn't a very good necromancer yet, but they said that was okay as long as I was willing to try. So that's what I did. They gave me bodies and I gave them monsters. They started with you, and it failed. And his eye rolls in its head. But after we saw you at the ball, we knew we were close. Dr. Knight got a sample of your little friend's blood to figure out what the stabilizer was, and passed it along to the rest of us. All of us can get what we want. Starting with me. They said all I need to do, and they'll just let us live in the mansion in peace, is give them one last army. A parting gift before we go. And even better, Kalum, he's going to come with us after he's done. He wants to stay with me. We're going to leave together.
I'm gonna sit down and just kind of guide him gently to sit down with me. And I'm gonna
Isn't
put
this exciting?
my arms around him. What did he do to you?
What are you talking about? He didn't do anything to me. He helped me. He helped me see when I was blind, literally, as he pokes at the eye in his head.
I'm just gonna hold his face and just squish it for a second. Just hold him for a good minute. It's not them, Lucy. I've done so many of my own experiments too. I brought back the king out of chance. We're messing with things we don't understand, Lucy.
That's what we do. We're scientists. Isn't that what Father always taught us? We need to push the boundaries, learn about the things in the dark so that it's not dark anymore.
But look at everything. Look at what they're doing to our home. You really think that they're... Yov is our home.
Home is not a place, Lucian. It's people. I don't care where we are. This entire continent and everything on it can burn as long as I have you and Mom and Dad.
So why didn't you come with me?
Because I couldn't come alone. We aren't a family if it's just the two of us.
Can't you see? It is just you and me. It's always been you and me. Dad was never there for us. He hurt us in ways we shouldn't even had to have gone through, Lucy. And Mom was never there. We always had each other. Isn't that good enough? Aren't I good enough?
This seems to kind of catch him off guard as he looks you up and down, seeming like it was the last thing he expected you to say. But eventually he looks to the side and bites his lip.
Lucy,
It's not enough. It's just, it's not the same.
I'll take his face again and just turn him toward me and just kind of tilt my head and give him the full expression of love and that the sisterly love that I have for him. Of course, it's not going to be the same. Death is for everyone. There's no exceptions. There's no exceptions.
We can be the exception.
I need you to listen to me.
No, I need you to listen to me. The Lady in White has given us a way out. I'm not like you. I'm not just going to turn my stomach up and let it happen.
No, I'm not saying that. Dr. Knight had to find a stabilizer.
She found it.
She did, and she gave it to me. And now I can see. And I'll poke his little eyeball. I'm a monster, Lucy.
We were
I'm
always
not
monsters.
I'm not Lucian.
You are to me.
My heart bleeds for you, Lucy. I want you to do the right thing.
I am doing the right thing.
Oh.
We can all be together again. Except for you. And he looks to What's-His. You're probably going to die.
Yeah, I died once. It happens to us all. Whether we stay dead, I don't know. But it happens.
I don't care whether mom or dad is alive. I care if I have you.
What?
I don't care, Lucy. It's not them. It won't be them. There are other souls in there. They might not even know their names. That's why they're scared. That's why they're animalistic. Because they don't know where they are. They don't know who they are.
We can teach them. We have an entire mansion full of lore about our family. And it's not just them. I've been experimenting in the graveyard. We can have grandma and grandpa, great-grandma and great-grandpa. I'm going back as far as I can. Our family's bigger than ever. It doesn't just have to be the two of us anymore.
Lucifer, I
We don't have
saw
to be
them.
alone.
I saw them. In the garden. In the maze. That's not Papa. That's not Grandma. It's not them. They're monsters. They're big, fat, ugly, inky
Don't
monsters.
talk about our family that way!
She kind of flinches at that.
You don't understand.
I do
Never
understand.
understood.
What don't I understand? Exactly.
You always just wanted to turn your belly up and take it. But the Concord gives us the power to change things. We can make things right. Things don't have to be this way. We don't have to suffer alone anymore. Everyone in the village, all of the family we never got to meet, everyone can come back, and things can be just like how they used to be. We can play in the village with the fishermen again. We can play in the mansion. We can help Dad with his research. Who cares what souls are in them? Who cares what surgeries I had to do? They can learn. We can mold them into whatever we want them to be. You didn't like that Dad drank his coffee a certain way? We can change it! We can change everything. But you will not insult them. Those are our parents. Those are our family.
You are my family. You've always been my family. Dad was never there. He always experimented on us. Look at what he did. I'll pull my shirt down to show off the scars. You have them too.
Yeah, and I have some from you too. As he runs his fingers over the scars across his eye.
That was not in my control.
Family hurts each other sometimes. It happens. Get over it.
That's bullshit.
Fine. You don't have to see it my way right now. Like I said, I can change you.
I've already... Lucy. This is who I...
No, it's not. Lulu would have accepted it. She would have been so happy that I was smart enough to bring back our parents.
Lucy.
To go further than any necromancer before us has ever gone. I am the greatest Elefakir that's ever existed. And I want you to be there to see it.
She kind of...
Will be.
She has like the biggest look of pity in her eyes. You are so smart.
I know. But if you come between me and the rest of my family, I'm taking you down. I can always bring you back and change you. Keep trying until you come out right. So what's it going to be, Lulu? Are you coming home? Either to your bedroom or to the graveyard. And I'll keep waking you up. Again. He pulls a vial of ichor from his vest. And again. Another. And again. Another. Until it works.
And this is why Caleb wanted to ambush him.
I'm gonna stand up and I'm just gonna dust myself off. Do I have to answer you now?
I'd prefer it. Lets me know what orders to give. These guys are told to kill any of you they see on sight.
Don't make me do this.
Ditto.
Lucy, I can't.
How about this? Give us 2 days, and we'll come back with an answer.
3. Make it 3 days.
Okay, 3 days, and we'll come back with an answer. You can wait that long.
I've been waiting long enough. As he stares at Lucian as he says that.
Tears are just coming out of her eyes. She won't even look at him.
We'll be back.
Fine. Go.
And he will drag Lucian out at that point, because
Yeah, she's
that's what
pretty
it's
much
going to
immobilized.
take.
No, she's pretty much immobilized right now.
See you guys next time. Sorry about what's going to happen to you, what's this?
Don't count me out quite yet.
I've seen what's waiting for you. I'm counting.
Either way, I know it's a long shot. We both know that that's not actually Cologne. Who is it actually?
How do you know that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Uh-huh. You have your answers, we have our answers.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
You wish.
that's an elephant cure for you.
I swear to the gods, What's if you're the reason she came out this way, I'm going
Oh,
to
no.
help him kill you.
I can't claim credit for this.
Well, accidents happen. See you around, Lucian.
She's just a little sad sack of potatoes on Gil's arms.
Either come back as Lulu, or don't come back. Your parents are waiting for you, and so am I. And with that, he just waves a hand dismissively for you to leave as he leaves the bubble and heads back to his workforce, presumably to take out his aggression on them.
Their father would be proud.
I want to go home.
Yeah, I'll get you back. You think you can cast magic, or do we have to go the long way?
No, let's go. I can do it.
Okay.
Alright. You trudge, carry Lucian through the slush and mud, back to the tree line. The dwarves and orcs watch you go, and Lucian, you can faintly make out Lucifer barking orders at them, angrier than you've ever sounded, or heard him sound, as he orders them to get the fuck back to work. The tree rots beneath your touch, and the two of you proceed through it, back to Rosewick. Where do you take Lucian from there as you reappear in the sprint wood?
Well, for now,
He is going right to the bar.
yeah, I was gonna say she's gonna need a drink.
All right.
And I'm
Zephyr?
gonna send this message to both Zephyr and Caleb to say that we need to have an emergency meeting, as in right now.
Okay. Zephyr, as you're on your walk through the city, and Caleb, as you're attending to affairs of the
I
realm.
believe that allows a response, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as it's 25 words or less.
Okay, Caleb's got a real short and sweet response. At the bar?
Wow.
Because I think he can gather from that tone.
I imagine in her message she says that it's the bar.
Oh yeah, that's right. She couldn't respond to his question.
Yeah, it's a one bit from both of you basically. But yes, she does confirm that yes, your inside of her tone is correct. The bar. Zephyr, you get the message as you're out and about on the town.
I'm tell Mezdu, I don't care what it is, but I want the strongest thing that you are capable of giving me.
He doesn't say anything, he just gives you an understanding nod and begins serving you just completely straight vodka. No mixer, just vodka.
I was already planning on Caleb going there because he was gonna vent about Lucian to Dimitri.
If you want, since you didn't have anything specific other than just realm shit, we can say that happened before they got back.
Okay. Basically, see what he thought. Like, am I the asshole? Or does she just need to realize what her brother is?
Well, I think she figured it out.
In that
like,
case,
I don't understand.
Yep.
Am I the problem? Am I the one who didn't, am I the problem here? Or does she just need to realize what he actually is?
Dimitri seems kind of divided for a moment. He taps the counter to ask me how to do for a drink. Just some cider, and
It's
as
like,
he not...
if I was in a similar situation, please don't take offense to this. If either you or my father or Miezdu or whoever became a problem for Tebedra, I'm sorry, I wouldn't hesitate.
He knocks back his cider and holds up a hand. Well, that's the thing. We're Tebedrans, Caleb. You're special, but you're still Tebedran. You love people for more than what they can give you, but you're not willing to put what they can give you over how much you love them. But he gives a shrug. The rest of the world's not like that. That's why we live here and not there. If everyone thought like us, we could live wherever we wanted. We wouldn't need Tebedra. But we need Tebedra because it's the only place people like us can be who we are.
So what you're saying is maybe I should... I don't know. What should I do? What am I supposed to do in this situation? Where I have to choose between her and the safety of others. She's one person.
Well, and he gives a bit of a shrug. You put her in danger to rescue your dad?
Well, yes. But she chose the cup.
Well, if it bothers you that much, then just don't help her. Let her get into trouble by herself.
But then what if that trouble comes back to bite me?
Then, well, I'm assuming from what you said, you're already threatening to kill her anyway. What's the difference? You just do it later instead of now.
I don't want to do that. I want her to see what is right in front of her.
At this, Miezdu, having a bit more experience than Dimitri, actually cuts in. Little cub. Dimitri's right. You see the world in a very special way for a Tebedran. But you still see the world as a Tebedran. In that you took more after me than you did after your father. I agree with you. There's nothing I wouldn't do to protect my girls. Ava looks to the twins as they act as his bouncers. And the same could be said of, I think, anyone from anywhere. Anywhere that's not here. But while I may have raised you, you are your father's son. You think like him. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think you and this girlfriend of yours...
What?
He waves a hand to interrupt you. The point is, both of you need to come to terms with who you are and what you are. You cannot have a foot in two worlds. She cannot have friends on both sides of a war. And you cannot have friends and a kingdom.
That doesn't seem like a very good way to view the world.
It is the fact of how the world is, Caleb. Your father knows it. Why do you think he hates Dimitri so much?
I just thought he hated Dimitri because Dimitri, is very different about things.
Exactly. He thinks differently, so he's in the way.
That's not fair to people who think differently.
See here, so.
Yeah, Mezu just gives you a pointed look and raises a brow.
I guess all I could do is let her do what she needs to do and just try to mitigate the damage. It's clear I'm not going to convince her of this. She's gonna have to convince herself.
Your father was the same way. Give her time, and take time for yourself. And remember, you had no guarantee that breaking your father out wouldn't have made things worse either. For all you knew, he was compromised. The dwarves specialize in breaking the minds of their victims. But you did it anyway because you cared about your family. And she stuck her neck out for you to make sure it happened. In Tebedra, we don't believe in much, but I like to think we at least believe in give as good as you get. And he leans towards you with a very serious expression and tilts his shades down to be able to look you in the eyes. Because you can say as much as you like that you put this kingdom over your friends and family, Caleb. But I raised you. I know who you are, cub. If it was your father in the place of her brother, you would be in the exact same position.
Maybe you're right. And that idea is terrifying.
And that's how she
That I
feels.
And that's that I wouldn't be able to do what is needed to be done.
Just because something needs to be done doesn't mean it gets done. If that was the case, this kingdom would be in a lot better shape. He slides you a drink and gives you and Dimitri a nod. I'll
And
leave
that-
you two alone.
I guess that's where she comes in, because she would talk to him first.
Yeah, she passes around the message and...
I just thought the process of it. She sends a message when 5 feet from you.
God, can you imagine?
A massive echo, though.
I'm also just thinking like the idea of like, man, you're sending a text message. I'm right here.
I've called you when
Yeah.
you were in a room away, so.
But she's not the greatest of mindset, so she's not paying attention where anyone's at.
Yeah, fair. Zephyr, do you respond to Lucian's call?
I like that he just walks over like, yes.
He'll just give a, all right. That's it.
Her,
Alright.
It's good enough for her. She's and drown herself in vodka.
Caleb, as What's-Is and Lucian return, Dimitri kind of tilts his head, and Caleb, they look a sight. Their boots are covered in mud and snow. Lucian has it all the way up to her waist.
She looks unhinged.
And yeah, you hear her just demand Miezdu give her the strongest thing he can legally
And
give her.
in the nicest way that she can, with still feeling like she is in too deep.
Eventually, given how fast he is, but he's going at a meandering pace, so it balances out. Zephyr arrives as well and takes his seat on the other side.
Sorry.
As you all assemble, Miezdu, seeming to ordain that this is somewhat private, heads to the other side of the bar, but does slide Lucian just a full bottle in case she needs
I
it.
just drink out of the bottle.
But Dimitri, having no such compunctions, just leans in eagerly. He can't see the state Lucian's in, but he can hear how deeply she's drinking and her rapid breathing. And Caleb, you can see he has a wide smile on his face, like he's delighted to hear what caused this.
Although he's blind, he would be able to hear the utter stress in her.
So, how did it go?
That's
We
good.
found him.
Well, can I just time has not.
You cut out.
Yeah, he cut out of there, sorry.
Oh, she said, time did not do him well. I was away for too long. Should have.
That is unfortunate.
I should have gone when I said I was gonna go. Instead,
Lucian, I don't think it has anything to do with when you would have gone.
you guys over him. Every single moment I had a chance to go back to him, I wanted to go so bad all the time. Leave.
Lucian, you saw him. This didn't just happen recently. This looks like it's been going on for years.
No, I think he did something to him. Kill him. That's not Lucifer. Not my
No.
brother.
It's not. And you're not Lucian anymore. But I don't think that. I don't know what happened to him,
That man.
but he's dangerous now.
If I may,
Yes?
from what you have described, honestly, to me, it sounds like he can't let go of the past.
Couldn't either.
Like he's convinced that he can somehow make things exactly as they were and refuses to move forward.
No, it's not that. Not that.
Yeah, no, that sounds exactly like how it was, Lucian.
He wants to be the greatest. He wants to be the best. Always what he
He
wants.
wants to have a family.
If you think this Kudum is a bad influence, maybe I will give you. You can talk to him
I don't-
before we try anything.
I don't want to talk to Kaloum.
I
No.
mean, Lucifer.
Don't know.
When you go back to talk to him,
There is no talking with him
We have
anymore.
3 days. 3 days, Caleb, to tell him whether or not I'm going to side with him or not.
well, I think 3 days should be enough time to at least gather part of the militia.
The thing is, Caleb, I want to. You
But even then,
people have done nothing but fight with me this whole time. You never listen. You don't take my feelings into consideration. As far as I can tell, the only person who loves me is Lucifer. So why shouldn't I leave?
Lucian, it sounds like to me he likes the idea of you. And we may disagree and things like that, but if I didn't, let's just say, at least for me personally, if I didn't think you were worth being around, I wouldn't be around you. I tried to find ways to do things myself. I think there's nothing wrong with disagreeing. It's part of life. It happens.
It's more than just us disagreeing, Caleb. All we've done in the last year is fight over what we should do, what we shouldn't do, what to do next, what not to do next. Every single one of our steps have been so careful, but also so disastrous. I have just realized when you said it, I have become complacent, gone belly up because I'm tired of fighting all the time.
Look, this is a group that is dealing with a very stressful situation. It's understandable that we would argue, that we would worry about every decision we make. But not all of our decisions have been disastrous. I mean, one of our decisions involved us saving Sun Dragon, and you seem to... I'd say the situation, our decisions here in Tepedra became chaotic.
Caleb,
In the end, disaster.
when I started to be around her, it's just like the first time in a long time I loved someone else that wasn't my own, and the feeling was different and scary. But when I'm with you guys, I don't feel trusted. I don't feel needed. Because you do go off, Caleb, and so does Zephyr. The only one who has ever been consistent is Gil. Whoever the fuck this guy is.
Lucian, I don't know how to explain this. But just because we sometimes disagree with you doesn't mean we don't value what you say.
Oh, really?
It's just how it goes. I mean, you're like a sciencey person, right?
She kind of gives a little annoyed look, but nods.
And in that field, don't people isn't it like a thing where they say like, oh, this is my idea of how this works, and someone else is like, no, but I have a different idea of how.
Not. I understand the sentiment, but no, that's not how it works. But I understand.
That is straight up how science works. But
you're talking about hypothesis, and hypothesis can come from different people. But yes, the sentiment is there. But she understands. Yes.
And just because someone has their hypothesis, even if it's proven wrong, that doesn't make them like an idiot or completely disregarded. They may be wrong about that, but they can be right about other things. It's like disagreement does not mean disregard.
I feel disregarded then. I don't feel valued in this party, Caleb.
I have always valued what you said, even if I haven't agreed with it and acted on it. If I didn't agree with what you said, I would just not talk to you. I mean, you've helped a lot.
What am I supposed to do?
well, instead of looking at what are you supposed to do, look at what will happen if you do go with him.
Look what will happen if I don't.
Well, if you do go, you'll have to fight your girlfriend. Probably even have to try to kill her. You'll have to fight us. The Scar Concord's not gonna let your brother just walk away like he says.
I know. I wish he would understand that. But if he is in the Lefikir, he won't see it until it's right in front of him.
Well, then, let me propose an idea. You're free to disagree with it. You're free to say whatever you want. Just let me propose the idea, okay?
I'm listening.
Whenever you go, you will go ahead of me, and I will bring some people. If you will have another chance to try to convince him, take the 3 days to really think about the situation and think about what you want to say to him. Try to convince him, and if he doesn't let you leave, then and only then will we intervene, and I promise you he will not be killed. I promise you. But we can take him back here and he'll be separated from this Kaloum that you seem to think is influencing make these decisions, right?
Really? He had to have done something, right?
If you think that's the case, then we can separate him. Take him here, or take him wherever we think he'll be most secure. And you'll have all the time in the world to try to make him see.
I don't know if I can. It's the thing, Caleb. You didn't see him.
He's your family, right? And you cared about him?
Caleb, I spent 175 years with my identical twin at my side.
Then maybe you just have to believe that you can. That you can get through to him. It's the only thing you can do, right?
I really think that there's something more going on here. Because
well, then we can find out. Maybe Dr. Knight can have a look at him.
Well, that maybe. But didn't you see it? You saw it too, right, bosses? When I said that's not them, and I pointed those things out, didn't you see it?
Yeah, he wasn't very...
For a fleeting second. Just for a second. For a millisecond, he was him again.
Well, then all the more reason that we should bring him somewhere secure. Somewhere where he can't be continued influence, so that maybe you and Dr. Knight or whoever else you want to bring in on this can maybe understand what has happened to him, if anything.
The thing is, Caleb, is that they're here. My parents are here. They're in their bestial forms. And... But what if it's true? And what if we can make them again? What if I can have my family again?
Maybe you could talk with Dr. Knight about this. She knows more about the figure than anything. She might know if it would really be them, and if it is, then you can make stabilizer for them.
And if not, then you have the power. You said it earlier. You can bring them back correctly.
It's true.
We destroy the abomination, and you bring back the real thing.
If that is what you wish to do.
Dad can rot. Mom can live.
Well...
You have the control over it.
Also, at the same time, what was that you were just saying about taking into consideration people's feelings? What about your brothers? He seemed very attached to his dad.
Can't see why.
Yeah, family blinds you.
Maybe. I wish I could talk to Aki. But, you know, whatever.
Honestly, I think she would probably tell you that you need to really think about what you want on this one. I don't think she would even talk with you on this one. Because this is a big thing that you have to figure out. She can't help you with this.
Ultimately, yes, it is up to you of what you want to do. All we can do is provide you with what we think, and you decide what we do about this.
But we do have to do something. He did say he was charged to build an army. And they're working on something over there at the Badger Farms.
And as with it being so close to here, you have to understand I can't just let that happen.
He said that their orders are to shoot and kill anybody that they see. So you have to make sure that anyone who goes and scouts there is as sneaky as possible. I don't want any more people to die.
Trust me, my scouts will be told to be very careful. And the people in the... If I gather militia as a backup plan, like I suggested, they ultimately understand what they're putting at risk here.
For now,
do my
honestly,
best.
Caleb,
I will do my best to make sure as few people are harmed in this situation as possible.
we know where they're at. We know more or less what they're doing. We don't need to put scouts out there. We need to keep all the forces you have here. That way, even if for some reason they are found, they're not picked off.
Well, like I said, you have 3 days to maybe think about something you want to say to him. If it seems like he's not going to let you leave, then like I said, I'm already going to gather them and move north anyway to go to Barbarous. It wouldn't be much for us to make a stop if you wind up needing assistance. And again, I promise you he will not be killed. Like I said, we could take him back here and you can figure out what's wrong with him.
Yeah. So they ask. So they ask is just don't kill him. But
I'll give them explicit orders that the leader is to be taken alive.
I think the smartest thing I can do right now is probably talk to Dr. Knight, as you say.
And go talk to them, get some idea of it. Maybe they might be able to provide you with something that might just convince him.
And she might know what process he used to revive your parents. And she could walk you through it better than the way he said.
In the meantime, I will do what I was doing already. Gather the militia forces and prepare them to move north. If we need to, we will make a stop at Tavager Farm to deal with that situation. Probably was going to have to anyways, and then if we capture Lucifer, we can bring him back here. We can find the safest, most secure place we can put him in. If you wish to stay with him and try to figure this out with Knight, that I think no one here would I don't think anyone here would hold it against you. And I don't think Aggie would hold it against you either.
No, I want to be there with her. If I had a choice, if I thought I could do it right now, which technically I could do it this very instant, I would go to her right now if I could. But he would only follow.
So let's address this situation. Then we can go north. Deal with the barber situation. I'm sure in the meantime Dr. Knight could maybe run some tests to see if he's been... she may be an Ichor expert, but from what I understand, she still also knows other fields, so if it's not Ichor related, she might still be able to figure something out. She seems quite smart.
She looks into her vodka bottle, and Dimitri, if he's listening, you can hear her quietly cry.
Yeah, he is eavesdropping like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he can hear her quietly crying.
Probably not even being very discreet about it at all.
No, he's not.
He doesn't know how to not be that way. Does that sound like what you want to do, Lucian?
She kind of gives a sniffle and a nod. Yeah, I better get to work.
Alright, then. We have a plan. We should deal with this Tabeja Farms issue. Hopefully get Lucy and her closure and all that good stuff. And then we will take out the Barbarous and help her girlfriend.
I'm gonna take
Oh.
the bottle and I'm gonna go locate Mom.
I will warn you guys. When we were talking with Lucifer, he highly insinuated they had something strong enough that would easily kill most of us, and that he was definitely targeting me.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. It would be helpful if you know anything about how many people were there.
Oh, I did. Well, I know I didn't say it, but his military training, he would have been counting how many people he saw.
I'll allow you to roll with disadvantage on that.
Use my inspiration to make it a flat roll.
Sure.
Can I give him a lucky point?
You cannot. That's not how luck works.
Please give him
I
guidance.
wish.
You can give
And
him
what-
guidance.
Yeah, I'll
allow
What
that.
do I roll for that?
I'll say make a. This is a good question. I guess make a just general intelligence check. But I'll say you can add your proficiency bonus in the D4.
Lucian is drinking heavily. She hasn't quite yet, but she will soon.
Just be careful not to poison yourself.
If I had
Intelligence
make my day.
15 plus 22. No, 21.
Okay. Zephyr, you watch as Caleb and Wutz's launch into a discussion of potential tactics as Wutz's counts off the enemy forces he counted off during your visit to Debater Farms.
How many was it?
I will give you the answer next session.
Oh, come
I'm gonna
on.
laugh. I'm gonna laugh if it was what I just rolled, because he's like, we're gonna have him roll, and whatever he has
the
is
better
how
you
many
do,
were
the
there.
worse things are for you now.
Like there's 21 of them.
And
I mean, the militia we're gathering would still far outnumber that.
yeah, but to be fair, it's rogues going up against orcs and dwarves, so it kind of
Yeah, but it's dwarves who don't want to be there.
Yeah, but they've got orcs at their back saying like, hey, whatever the thieves are gonna do to you, I promise the orcs will do worse.
Well, then we just gotta get rid of the orcs, and then...
Easy! As we all know, getting rid of orcs is very easy and not an entire fucking adventurer quest in and of itself.
Yeah, but they didn't seem very intelligent earlier. Since their orders were to
That's
kill anyone on... Well, no, it was well looked at.
Those
because
orcs
they
in
were
particular
told...
didn't seem very intelligent.
Yeah, because they were told kill on sight. But yet we told them, hey, we're here to see Lucifer. Don't put your weapons down, and stuff like that. And they listened. And it wasn't like, hey.
They just did fetch their, because you did use his name.
And then I was like, hey, this is how you go about doing it. And they used his plan. So it's like they don't think very well for themselves.
Well, then this should be easy then. Nothing to worry about.
Hopefully.
I don't like the way he said that.
Well, I mean,
No.
Jeremy seems like he knows what he's talking about.
Except now,
So,
I don't think they're just plain orcs.
Or that's
But-
what he wants you to think.
And as you two discuss tactics, Zephyr, you see Lucian with bottle in hand, drunkenly slips out of the lodge and makes their way towards the apothecary. As the last of the snow melts around your feet, you all formulate a plan, but a specter now hangs over the party, as Lucian appears to be seriously considering the potential of leaving the party in favor of her family of blood, rather than her family of choice. You have 3 days to see if you can change her mind. Check out our website at officiald5hub.info. Down for maintenance at the moment, but soon to be resurrected from the grave like a filthy necromancer who's really coming into their own as a necromancer now. 2 resurrections! And not to mention, if what he says is true, your entire family tree. That's an entire necromancy garden.
Necromancy garden.
Check out our link in chat to join our official D5 Discord server if you want to hang out with us directly. Support our episodes, post on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google Podcasts, and the iHeart Podcast Network. Wherever you happen to get your podcast from, you can probably find it there. For our audio listeners, catch us live on Tuesdays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time on twitch.tv/Odd Tornado Productions. Check out Odd Tornado Productions official on Tumblr to find links to our other works, including our Kingly Rogues Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Killer5. That's 5 with a PH, don't get it wrong. If you enjoy what we do, please support us on Patreon. That link will be posted in chat. On Ko-fi at kofi.com/oddtornadoproductions, and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/tornadoodd. The TNO are capitalized if you want to get immediate updates when we go live, as well as updates on all of our other projects. And if you want to see more of this party, plus or minus a few, tune in Mondays at 7 o'clock Central Daylight Time for our Monday game, Under Locks and Keys, featuring a party of globetrotting treasure hunters trying to assemble the artifacts of the gods in a race against technology-worshipping cultists. Thanks everyone at the table so much for playing. Thanks everyone at home so much for watching. And we'll see you all next week.